All right, so you're thinking about adding Tencent to your portfolio, but you want to get beyond just the headlines
Yeah.
and really see what's going on.
For sure.
We've got excerpts from their Wikipedia article,
Okay.
a list of all their acquisitions from Traxon,
Wow.
and some market analysis from companies' market cap
Sounds good.
to really help us unpack all of this.
Awesome.
So Tencent.
So Tencent is
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
One of the biggest multimedia companies in the entire world.
It really is incredible how they've managed to build such a diverse portfolio.
It really is. They have their hands in a lot of different things.
So they've got everything from social media with WeChat to gaming with League of Legends to even running a digital bank.
They do. They really do it all.
Crazy.
Yeah. And that diverse portfolio is key to their whole story.
I see.
They didn't just like appear out of thin air as this giant, right? Back in 1998.
Okay.
They were founded.
Okay.
Their growth over time has been pretty remarkable.
So let's talk about what that growth looks like for investors right now.
Okay.
What's the snapshot of their financial performance?
Well, historically, they've seen like incredible growth.
I bet.
But recently,
Yeah,
things
okay.
have been a little bit more
Interesting.
complex,
Okay.
especially when you look at their revenue growth from advertising.
Okay.
There's been a slowdown,
There has.
and it's probably connected to a couple of major factors.
Okay, let's unpack those factors then.
Sure.
Is this slowdown purely a pandemic hangover,
Okay.
or is there more to it?
So the pandemic definitely like impacted global economies.
For sure.
And China was no exception there.
Right.
Businesses cut back their budgets. Advertising took a hit.
Makes sense.
But there's also the added layer of increased scrutiny
Oh, yeah.
of the tech sector by the Chinese government.
Right.
Which,
That's definitely something we're going to need to explore a little bit further.
yeah.
Especially when we're considering the stability of any Chinese company.
Right.
But amidst these challenges, Tencent announced record share buybacks in December of 2023.
Interesting.
What's the message there?
Well, share buybacks signal that a company believes that their stock is undervalued.
Okay.
It's a way to return value to shareholders,
Uh-huh.
and it often boosts the share price.
Okay.
The fact that Tencent went for these record buybacks
Yeah.
might signal their confidence in their future,
Interesting.
despite all these challenges.
So on the one hand, we've got this slowdown,
Uh-huh.
but on the other hand, they're buying back shares.
Right.
It seems like they're sending mixed signals.
It does.
What about their market share?
Okay.
They are the world's largest video game vendor, right?
They are.
That's got to be valuable.
It's super valuable.
Okay.
It's not just about like selling games.
Right.
It's about having leverage
Uh-huh.
in a rapidly growing market.
I see.
Tencent has been strategically acquiring game studios
Okay.
for years.
For years.
Yeah, like Riot Games.
The creators of League of Legends.
Exactly.
They clearly understand the value of this market.
They do.
That's a smart move. League of Legends is practically a global phenomenon at this point.
Yeah, it really is.
But they're not just sitting on their gaming laurels, are they?
Yeah.
They're not just a gaming company. Their innovation pipeline seems pretty active,
It does.
with investments in AI, cloud computing, and even that digital bank we mentioned.
Yeah, investing in future tech is key for long-term growth.
For sure.
They're not just reacting to like today's trends.
Right.
They're trying to position themselves for what's next.
Makes sense.
For example, they even have a self-driving AI program in development,
Really?
similar to Baidu's Apollo project.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But what about their valuation?
Mm.
As of December 2024, their market cap is $474.53 billion.
Wow.
Help us understand what that actually means.
Okay, so that puts Tencent as the 20th most valuable company in the world,
Wow.
globally.
That's huge.
Yeah, and their journey from a $2.75 billion market cap back in 2007.
Oh, wow. To where they are today
Yeah.
is astronomical.
That's incredible.
To put it in perspective, their market cap is comparable to giants like Alibaba and Meta.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
Speaking of big,
Okay.
let's talk about Tencent's acquisition strategy.
Right.
Traxon's data shows 41 acquisitions.
Wow.
It seems like a lot of them are focused on bolstering their position in gaming.
You're right. They've been on an acquisition spree, particularly in that PC and mobile gaming space.
Yeah.
But there are a few surprises in there.
Didn't they acquire a stake in Tesla at some point?
They did.
And I saw something about them acquiring the developer behind Dying Light.
Yeah.
That's a pretty popular game.
Yeah. They've made some interesting acquisitions outside of just gaming,
Okay.
showing that they're not afraid to diversify their holdings.
So they're really branching out.
They are, but let's not forget about their core services business.
Right.
which is a lot more than just gaming and social media.
Right. We all know about QQ and WeChat.
But what else is in that services bucket?
Think Tencent Video.
Okay, for streaming.
Exactly. Leisure for insurance.
Wow.
And even Tencent Credit,
Okay.
their own credit scoring system.
Like Sesame Credit.
Yeah, pretty much.
It sounds like they want to be a one-stop shop for digital life in China.
They kind of do.
But with a company this massive,
Hmm.
what kind of impact are they having on the Chinese and even global economy?
Well, Tencent's growth is undeniably intertwined with China's economic rise.
I would imagine so.
They've created jobs-driven innovation and contributed significantly to GDP growth.
That makes sense.
However, there are some potential risks that we need to address.
You're talking about the Chinese government's increasing control over tech companies.
Exactly.
It was a constant balancing act for them,
It is.
fostering growth, but also maintaining control.
It really is a tough spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The government support has helped Tencent thrive,
Uh-huh.
but these increased regulations could significantly impact their future.
Right, so we've got this incredibly complex picture emerging.
We do.
A company deeply embedded in China's economic engine,
Yeah.
but also facing potential regulatory headwinds.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears now and get into what this all means for you as a potential investor.
Okay.
What are the core pros and cons of owning Tencent stock?
All right. So on the plus side,
Yeah.
they have a dominant market position. They've got a history of really strong financial performance.
Okay.
And they're actively investing in future technologies.
Right.
However,
Yeah.
we can't ignore the regulatory risks associated with investing in China.
True.
And the recent slowdown in revenue growth
Yeah.
needs to be considered carefully.
Okay, so it sounds like a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario.
It does.
But before we jump to conclusions,
Yeah.
let's dig into their dividend policy.
Okay.
Are they sharing the wealth with their investors?
So Tencent does have a dividend policy, but it's not as generous as some other companies. Those record share buybacks we talked about back in December 2023 are actually much more relevant to investors right now.
So they're putting more emphasis on buybacks than dividends.
It seems like it.
What does that tell us about their strategy?
It could suggest that they think that their stock is undervalued,
Okay.
and they're prioritizing returning value to shareholders through buybacks rather than dividends.
Interesting. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Tencent's history, their financial performance, their market position,
Yeah.
even their forays into AI and self-driving cars.
It's been a lot.
But there's one more crucial piece we need to explore.
Mm.
ESG factors.
Yes.
We need to understand how Tencent stacks up in terms of environmental, social, and governance practices.
For sure.
Let's dive into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
So let's unpack these ESG factors.
Okay.
For those unfamiliar, ESG stands for environmental,
Right.
social, and governance.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a framework for evaluating a company's sustainability and societal impact.
Mm.
How does Tencent measure up?
So Tencent has made some public commitments,
Okay.
like aiming for carbon neutrality by 2030,
Okay.
which is a positive step, I'd say, on the environmental front.
Right.
The S and the G in ESG
Yeah.
often present more complex challenges, especially for a company that operates in China's political landscape.
Right. That makes sense. There have been some controversies surrounding Tencent, particularly around issues of censorship and data privacy.
Yeah.
How should investors weigh those concerns?
That's a really important question.
It is.
There have been accusations of censorship on Tencent's platforms,
Right.
particularly content that's critical of the Chinese government.
I see.
And because the government has such close ties to these tech companies, there are naturally concerns about data privacy and surveillance.
So we're essentially looking at a trade-off here.
Yep.
On the one hand, we've got the potential for growth and return on investment.
Right.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
we have these ethical considerations. How can investors reconcile these kind of conflicting aspects?
Well, ultimately, it comes down to each investor's personal values and their risk tolerance.
Makes sense.
Some investors might prioritize financial returns and kind of downplay the ESG concerns, while others might find those concerns to be complete deal breakers.
It's a complex decision for sure.
It is.
And it really highlights the importance of doing your due diligence and really understanding the full picture.
The whole picture.
Before investing in any company, not just Tencent.
Absolutely. Thorough research is crucial.
It is.
It's about aligning your investments with your values
Yeah.
and being comfortable with the potential risks and rewards.
Well said. Okay. We've gone deep on Tencent's financials,
We have.
their market dominance, their diverse services. We even touched on those tricky ESG questions.
For sure.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
We've seen their incredible rise from a small startup back in 1998 to a global powerhouse.
Really is amazing.
We've discussed their strategic acquisitions, their grip on the gaming market,
Right.
and even their forays into other exciting sectors.
Yeah.
Like AI and self-driving cars.
Crazy.
We also unpack the unique complexities
Yeah.
of investing in a Chinese tech giant.
For sure.
The potential rewards, the inherent risks, and those important ethical considerations.
Absolutely.
But what does this all mean for you, the listener,
Right.
who's trying to decide whether or not to add Tencent to your portfolio?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And while we can't make that decision for you,
Right.
hopefully this deep dive has given you the knowledge and insights you need to make an informed choice that aligns with your own investment goals and values.
Exactly. We've given you a lot to think about.
I think so.
But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one final thought. We've talked a lot about the Chinese government's influence on Tencent.
Yeah.
If they continue to tighten their grip on these tech companies, what does that mean for Tencent's future?
That's a good question.
Could it limit their growth? Could it force them to look for opportunities outside of China?
Maybe.
Or will they find a way to adapt and thrive
Yeah.
within those constraints?
It's a critical question, and there's really no easy answer
Right.
predicting the future.
Especially in a market like China.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Especially in a market as dynamic as China, it's impossible.
It really is.
But what we can do is
Yeah.
arm ourselves with information,
Right.
weigh the potential risks and rewards, and just make calculated decisions based on the best data available.
I think that's the real value of a deep dive like this.
I agree.
It's not about giving you a simple yes or no answer.
Right.
It's about equipping you
Yeah.
with the knowledge and different perspectives to form your own conclusions about Tencent.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we always appreciate hearing your thoughts.
We do.
If you have any insights on Tencent, or maybe there's another company or topic you'd like us to explore in a future deep dive, head over to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And leave a comment below.
Please.
Yeah, we love hearing from you.
We do.
Your questions, your insights, even your disagreements.
We love it all.
After all, this deep dive is for you, the listener.
Absolutely.
We're just here to help you navigate the complex world of investing.
That's right.
So until next time,
stay curious.
Keep learning.
And happy investing.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep dives into the fascinating world of business and finance.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.